What's up guys, it's McNulty here. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all doing well, and it is, believe it or not, the beginning of the Halloween event. Funnily enough, this was the first event that when I started this channel, and it's been growing ever since. So I want to say first of all a big thank you to all of you who have subscribed to the channel. And it really helps me to keep making these videos, and thank you so much guys for all your likes and comments. So we have the Halloween event which has just started, and of course with it we have a brand new couple of heroes to have a look at. So we're going to go ahead and have a look at these heroes today, if I can close down all of these offers. So let's have a look in the portal. Let's see what Halloween's brought with it. All right, so we have got two brand new 5-star heroes. In fact, we've got three brand new 5-star heroes, but one of them's not featured, which is a little bit controversial. I would have thought she would be featured, but we're sort of carrying along like a cartoony theme for these heroes. So let's go ahead and we'll start with the first of the featured heroes, which is this guy, Edwin. Edwin looks like the evil butler. He's given us the stank eye, and I definitely don't trust whatever he's got in that cup of tea. So he is a nature hero, the first nature 5-star we've seen since Francine and Francine's costume, and he is of the paladin class. So paladin is a good defensive class. He gets a chance to increase his defense by 25% for 2 turns after receiving damage. It's an alright class. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's nothing to write home about either. Now, the Morlovia family bonus. There was a major nerf to this, unfortunately, but they still get this bonus for 1, 2, or 3 heroes, which gives you an extra 3%, 6%, or 9% mana generation. Don't get me wrong, it's still a pretty good bonus, but it was quite a lot better, and a lot of people could take advantage of that. So I think that's why they had to reduce it. He also gets a passive. So when the character casts his special skill, he gets a 50% chance to steal the newest dispellable buff from a random enemy that has buffs. If no enemies have buffs, he deals 70% damage to all enemies. Now, I do really like the passive for these heroes, and also the family bonus, which have been included quite recently, as they can come into play quite often. Now, let's go ahead and have a look at this guy's stats. So for Edwin, with the max power preview off, I mean, the stats on these heroes are pretty damn high. So he's got 922 on the attack, 889 on defense, which is respectable, and 1693 on his health. If we look with the max power preview, he benefits from the attack up ether power, which is a good ether power because we're going to see his special. He's a damage dealing hero as well. Now his special is Hemlock Tea, that's what he's got in his hand. So that's what we don't trust from this guy, this horrible looking guy. So he deals 250% damage to all enemies at fast speed, which is a pretty decent amount. The attack bypasses defensive buffs. That's pretty cool. And this does include counterattacks, which is decent. All enemies then can't get their status elements cleansed from special skills for 3 turns. Now, the only downside about him is that he doesn't actually give any status ailments. So it's not really going to work in conjunction with his own special. But it may well work well in conjunction with other heroes that do give ailments. I would see this guy being pretty good paired up with the llama from the Easter family heroes, who prevents buffs. So I would use him alongside a hero like that does give an ailment. And then the ailment is undispellable, basically. So that is a pretty decent special. However, he doesn't work very well in a vacuum. So on his own, I would say it'd be difficult to put him as part of an attack team where you want to deal damage, because his 250% hit is not that high, even with that high attack stat. And even with the fact that he's running at fast speed, you do have other damage dealers like that will hit 3 heroes for a much higher amount, which would probably better be used as part of an attacking team. And then the other downside there is that he needs to be paired with a hero that does ailments, and ailment dealing heroes don't quite do as much damage as heroes that don't give ailments, unless you've got somebody like Ferris in which case forget what I've just said and pair them up. They'd make an absolutely brilliant team. So do I think he's a good hero? Yeah, absolutely. He is a good hero. Is he a great hero or a game-changing hero in the same vein as we've seen from some of the other seasonal heroes? Unfortunately not. So I'd say I'm going to go ahead and give this guy a B grade. I think just in comparison to some of the other new heroes, he's not quite as impactful, but he can be used. There is a lot of utility for him, and he is running at fast speed, so he's got that going for him. But he's super ugly, so I don't like him. No worries. So guys, that's the first hero down. Now let's move it along. So we've got Lucinda. She's ugly, man. She got some assets, though. I'll say that much about her. So she's a dark hero. She gets the same family bonus, and she's got the same passive, so we won't go over those again. Stats-wise, she is a bit more defensively built, which is interesting. 865 on the attack, 931 on defense, and 1751 health. So she's going to be pretty survivable, which is decent, but her hit is not going to be quite as hard. Her hit is running, or her special is running at slow speed, and it is called the Might of Excalibroom. That's so stupid. That is Excalibroom that she's holding. I wonder what she had to pull that out of. So, anyway, at slow speed, she deals 470% damage to the target and nearby. So she's a slow speed hit 3. That is a decent amount of damage. That is a huge amount of damage, actually. But it is only to 3, and it is with a lower attack stat. So bear that in mind. The fact that it's at such a high percentage is going to be kind of negated by the lower attack stat. The target and nearby enemies then get minus 40% accuracy for 6 turns. And that also applies to offensive special skills. That is quite a lot. And it is for 6 turns, so that's a heck of a long time. The target and nearby enemies also get minus 34% defense for 6 turns. Now, I know that sounds like a lot, and it is a lot, but you've got heroes that'll hit, like Grim, for example, that'll give defense down for the same 6 turns, and in the 4-star element, so it's not something that we haven't seen before, but it is quite a long time. Both of those can be cleansed. So there's no real huge detriment to your team as long as you bring in a cleanser and potentially a cleanser and healer against her. You're going to be able to deal with that damage, provided it doesn't kill your 3 heroes. And the caster regenerates 918 HP over 6 turns. Yeah, not a huge fan of this one, unfortunately. That health regeneration should really be at least for the caster and nearby, especially when you get a slow speed hero. You really want that hero to be a game ending hero or a hugely match changing hero, and unfortunately for Lucinda, I don't think that she is. I would definitely like to see some changes to this card, but it is what it is. I mean, this is what we've got, and as far as grading goes, I'm going to go ahead and just for the damage, I'll give her a B minus. If it wasn't quite as high, she would definitely be a C or lower. So unfortunately, not the greatest start for these new heroes. Now, let's have a little look at the third hero. We'll go out and back in again. And it is Amber. So Amber is a fire hero. She is of the fighter class, so that's a pretty decent class. We'll give her that. And it does give her the revive skill, which is pretty cool. She gets the same family bonus and the same passive, and that is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Whatever that red thing is, I thought it was a heart at first, but it just looks strange, man. Her art doesn't actually look like they've put very much effort into it. I mean, correct me if you think I'm wrong, but I would say the same about Lucinda. Just a little bit lazy, to be honest. Yeah, and this one as well, there's not much detailing. And I mean, these cards are things that we like summon for. We love these cards. So I think they could put in just a little bit more effort. That's my gripe about this so far. And now with the max power preview off, we are looking at 927 on the attack. Pretty decent stat there. 885 on defense and 1689 on the health. So very, very similar to what we saw over here. Very, very similar to what Edwin's stats are. Almost exactly the same. Now, her special skill is called the Spear of Blood Pact. Okay, so that's like blood. It's like congealed blood, which is horrible. So at average speed, she's going to be dealing 605% damage to the target. Wow. Okay, that's a lot of damage. She then heals, oh man, she heals the caster for 100% of damage dealt. I mean, that is cool, because she's going to heal herself for a percentage of the damage she deals, but she's just healing herself. And like we've had Sha Wu Jing, who heals the whole team. We've got Aramis, who heals the whole team for a percentage. You've got the red hero, who I'm going to forget the name of, Sekhmet, who heals the whole team for a percentage. Even at the 4-star level, we've got heroes that do that. Why could she not do that? That would have been a million times better. Anyway, she deals 605 damage to the target at average speed and heals herself for 100% of the damage dealt. All right, fair. The target resists healing and receives 300 damage per resisted healing for 4 turns. Right, so that is pretty impactful. So we have a single target sniper running at average speed, who is designed to be able to take out an enemy with that ailment, that resisted healing, and the damage per resisted heal. It's kind of unfortunate that it doesn't affect the target and nearby. Again, it would have been nice to see maybe a lower percentage and the target and nearby. And unfortunately as well, Amber's not one of the featured heroes. So in terms of chances, you've got a legendary featured hero chance of 1.3%. And you've got a legendary seasonal non-featured hero chance of 0.3%. And that is going to be spread across all of these non-featured heroes. So if you want Miriam and Midnight, if you want Matilda, who's a fantastic hero, if you want any of these non-featured heroes, your chance is spread at 0.3% that you're going to be able to grab this one. So for that low of a chance, that poor of a hero, unfortunately, yeah, I'm not a huge fan. So I'm not a huge fan of the heroes in this whole portal, to be honest. I mean, I think out of all of them, the new featured heroes, that is, Edwin would be the draw card. They have featured Alucard this time as well, and he is an insanely good hero, especially in Minion Wars. So he would probably be a good one as well. But you could end up with Amber, or more likely you could end up with Lucinda. So it's kind of a mixed bag, these Halloween heroes. And I'm not 100% sure how I feel about all of them. Unfortunately, like, this guy is my favorite, and he's not the greatest hero I've ever seen either. So what would I say about summoning in this portal? I mean, I would say that I would save my tokens. I wouldn't go hard in this portal. I think if anyone, there are a couple of heroes. I mean, obviously Alucard's great. Very low chances for some of the rest. But the 4-star Annabelle, that's one that I don't have yet, which I'm definitely going to be going for. But I think after I get her, that's probably going to be it for me for this portal. So I wish you guys all of the best of luck in your summons. Please do drop us a like and subscribe if you find the videos helpful. And I look forward to seeing you all again in the next video. Bye for now, guys.